There's a couple players that I really want to talk about that have been breaking out to start the 2025 season, and I think you have to start with Cam Thomas in Brooklyn. Now, hand up, I was someone that was very skeptical of the Brooklyn Nets this year. I thought they were going to have by far the worst record in the league, and they were not going to look this competitive whatsoever through the first 8 games, and I could not be more wrong. Now, I do still expect the Brooklyn Nets to be at the bottom of the Eastern Conference at the end of the season, but right now they are showing that they can make every game competitive, and they are no cakewalk opponent whatsoever. Guys will still end up getting traded, but I don't think Cam Thomas is getting traded this year. Cam Thomas, through 8 games, is averaging 25 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He's shooting 42% from the field, 31% from 3, and 92% from the line. Now, the efficiency has dropped off a little bit over the last couple of games, but he has been great in the fourth quarter. He's keeping them in games. Yeah, is he a ball hog at times? 100%, but I think we're seeing Cam Thomas be somebody more than what we thought originally he could be in his first couple of years from the 2021 draft class out of LSU. I like the way he's able to get to the rim, and I think if he plays with maybe a more foundational offense, not he's playing hero ball going forward, he could definitely get right in this league. There's definitely some negatives to Cam Thomas's game, but this year he's been lights out shooting in certain games, like the performance against the Atlanta Hawks where they lost by 4. He put up 36 points, 5 rebounds, shot 51% from the field to start off the year. He's had really good games against the Bucks and their 13-point win against them. He played really well against Chicago and their 8-point win there. Yeah, there's going to be some bad shooting nights, but at least he's making the Nets somewhat more enjoyable to watch this season. Him, Cam Johnson, Dennis Schroeder have all been pleasant surprises, and since Thomas is younger than those guys, I don't think he gets traded. But yeah, I think he has been somewhat of a breakout player this year. Shout out to Melo Ball in Charlotte. Now, I was wrong about the Nets and how I thought they could be not a competitive team whatsoever. I was right about LaMelo Ball. I think he was always going to be an all-NBA caliber point guard if he could stay healthy, something that's plagued him since the 2022 season, where he was phenomenal in year number 2, was an all-star, brought the Hornets to the play-in tournament, and then played 36 games in 2023, 24 games in 2024, and through 7 games this year, he's averaging 28.5 points, 6 assists, 4.5 rebounds, a steal and a half a night. He's shooting 47% from the field. He's shooting 39% from 3 on 12 attempts a night. He's been an elite free throw shooter. And some of the shots he hits are just unreal. He makes tough shots look so easy. And he's 6'7". If he can continue to get stronger, fill out his body a little bit more as well, I think he could be a great two-way player in this league, because I think the defensive potential is there, and LaMelo should be getting better and better each year of his career. He's still just 23 years old. The Hornets have been banged up this year. Their center rotation has been destroyed. Mark Williams has yet to play. Nick Richards just got hurt. We're seeing Taj Gibson start games for them right now, which is kind of a shame. Brandon Miller got hurt. He came back. There's been some injuries to Charlotte so far, which has kind of been the motto of this team over the last couple of years, but LaMelo has been healthy so far. And if he can continue to be healthy, not only is he going to be an all-star this year, if the Hornets are a respectable team at the end of the year in the standings, he's going to be an all-NBA point guard. So obviously I could talk about Grady Dick in Toronto because he's definitely breaking out, but I talked more about Grady Dick and some of those other guys from the 2023 draft class in a recent video, so go check that out. Another player we're going to talk about on the Toronto Raptors, we're actually going to talk about 2 guys. One is going to be RJ Barrett, who's having a great start to his first full year in Toronto. He was hurt in the preseason and then also missed some time to start off this year, but through 5 games, he's averaging 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists. He's shooting 44% from the field, 38% from 3, and he almost hit a game winner against the Denver Nuggets in his worst game in the season. He didn't play well, but he had a step back jumper against Russ. He was definitely fouled multiple times in that possession by Russ, but it goes in and out. And I just like the confidence, the ability to get shots off the dribble that we're seeing from RJ Barrett this year. He had a really good 3-game stretch after his first game. In a 5-point loss against Charlotte, he had 31 points, shot 55% from the field. Against the Lakers, 63% from the field, 12 assists from RJ Barrett, which was great to see, and 33 points. And then he followed that up with a 31-point performance, although it was a little bit more inefficient against Sacramento. But I think RJ is taking strides on both ends of the floor. And if he could just get that 3-point shot up, something that's always been an inconsistency with him in his career, outside of basically the 2021 season, he has not been a great 3-point shooter, but we definitely saw him be a positive shooter in that 32-game stint with the Raptors last year after the trade. So this is going to be such a huge piece for the Raptors going forward, because Scottie's still hurt, Grady Dick is balling out, Emmanuel Quickley is still hurt, and I thought he was going to break out this year, and he definitely still can. So this is a great sign to see, because with contracts going up in this league, and we're seeing Scottie Barnes, who's eventually going to be making $40+ million, RJ's making 25 this year, 27 next year, $29 million in 2027. And if you can keep up these numbers in this production right now, that is going to be a steal of a contract. And the next player I want to talk about breaking out for the Toronto Raptors is Ochai Agbaji, who is finally getting a normal amount of runtime that he probably should, because when he got drafted by the Cavs, maybe there wasn't going to be too much production from him right away. He was included in the Donovan Mitchell trade, and in Utah, he didn't really get a full opportunity, but he's definitely taking advantage in his second year with the Raptors. He was in that Kelly Olynyk deal that happened last year at the deadline, and this year, through 8 games, Ubaji's averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, over a steal a night, and he's shooting 58% from the field, 46% from 3, and is just looking so much more efficient than he's been throughout the course of his career, and kind of going back to what we saw from him during his Kansas days, where he won a national title with the Kansas Jayhawks. He's had multiple productive games this year, and he's played a ton for them as well, and he wasn't going to have this opportunity if, one, the Raptors weren't super deep, and 2, injuries to Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, these guys being out is now seeing them get an extended look at Agbaji, who, if he keeps up this production, could net them a first-round pick at the deadline. But he's still 24 years old. He just may be somebody in their future plans, because this team definitely needs depth going forward. They were top heavy going into the year, and that's why I thought they weren't going to hit their win total. So Agbaji breaking out is massive for the Raptors, joining Scotty, Quickley, Barrett, and Grady Dick. It's a nice foundation in Toronto. Evan Mobley, it's here. It is here. Evan Mobley has looked phenomenal to start off this season. We could all see the potential in Mobley's game. We saw it at USC. We definitely saw it in his rookie season. He finished runner-up to Scotty that year in Rookie of the Year voting. Then he follows up that season, finishing 3rd in DPOY voting. Last year, though, took a little bit of a step back. He was banged up. The Cavs right now are 8-0 in the moment I'm recording this, and Mobley is averaging a career high in points, 17.5. He's averaging 8 rebounds a night, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and what I love about Mobley's game is he is now knocking down threes, shooting 40% from 3 on 2 attempts a night. Now, I don't know if he's going to be shooting high 30s, low 40s from 3 all year long, but it looks so much better. He's got the confidence in the shot. The form looks better. He's stepping in. He's taking these, and that is just going to make him so much more valuable, because Mobley can provide you elite defense on that end of the floor, and then you're able to add in somebody that's basically 7 feet tall, can handle the ball well, and he can knock down threes. He can do the pick and pop. He can run the pick and roll with Jared Allen if you really wanted to, which makes him super impressive. He's knocking down his free throws, and I actually like his playmaking ability as well, and I feel like he's a guard in a big man's body at times, because he can really dribble the ball up and down the floor. He can make a block on one end, dribble it up and down the floor, and then he could just dunk on you on the other end. And Mobley, if he could put it all together, could be the X factor for the Cavs this year if they want to end up going to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since they acquired Donovan Mitchell. And Mobley this year, I think a lot of people expected bounce backs from Darius Garland and potential breakout from Mobley. So it's nice to see, because I never sold my Mobley stock. I'm here on Mobley Island still, and the returns have been pretty nice. Now, if the Cavs want to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, the team they'd probably run into is going to be the Boston Celtics, and somebody breaking out from them coming off the bench. He has started 0 games this year, so he's going to be an early 6-man of the year favorite, and that is Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard has been unreal to start off his 5th season in the NBA. Through 8 games, all off the bench, he's averaging 16 points, over a steal a night, but the efficiency has been great for Pritchard. 47% from the field, 43% from 3 on 9 attempts a night. He's knocking down 4 threes a game. He's also shooting 92% from the line, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, and has just been such a productive player for the Celtics off the bench. Now, Kristaps Porzingis has been hurt. Jaylen Brown has been banged up to start off this year. He's had probably an excess of playing time that he may not get in the second half, but Pritchard is taking advantage of his minutes, and he's somebody that is developing even more in his age 26 season, and Pritchard is turning into one of the best 3-point shooters off the bench in the league. He's going to be going up against Trey Mann and some other good players coming off the bench to win that 6-Man of the Year award, but Pritchard, I think, is breaking out this season and could definitely win that award for the second time in a few years for Boston, since Malcolm Brogdon won it a couple of years ago. And the last player I want to talk about that's breaking out this year, in my opinion, is going to be Jeremy Sochan of the San Antonio Spurs. How different he looks now that Pop isn't trying to run him at point guard, and now Jeremy Sochan, I think, is playing in a role he's much more comfortable in, and it just helps playing next to one of the greatest point guards of all time, one of the best floor visions we have in this league in Chris Paul, that's making Sochan's life so much easier. Sochan, through 7 games, is averaging 15 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3 assists a night. He's shooting 51% from the field. You'd like for his threes to knock down a little bit more. Same with the free throws as well. 25% from 3 on 2 attempts a night, which is down from last year. But Wemby can space the floor. They're not falling right now, but they're eventually going to fall for Wemby, which allows Sochan to play a little bit more inside. And I think his court vision has been great. He's getting rebounds. He can get downhill, and he just looks more comfortable with the ball in his hands. I think he's a great defender also for somebody that is in his age 21 season. And just this is why you add Chris Paul in the offseason, this veteran that can not only make Wemby's life easier, Sochan, and when Vassell comes back, their lives easier as well, which is going to be so huge for this internal development for the San Antonio Spurs. So that is going to be for me. Hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments somebody maybe I didn't mention that you think is also breaking out that I should have talked about. Please give them some love down below. Subscribe if you are not already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.